Hi everybody and welcome back to Jaffa Cooks, and today I'll show you how to make one of the Middle Eastern favorite street food, chicken shawarma. Okay, so when we go to a street food we see chicken shawarma in a log like this. It's been carefully prepared. There's layers and layers of spiced up chicken. Unfortunately it's not possible at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to broast the chicken to make sure it's nice and moist inside. The spices and the herbs are on the outside. They don't fall off, and when we do make our chicken shawarma, you still get that authentic taste and the smell, and it takes you back to that street food place where you've had your first shawarma. Okay, so before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Click on the bell icon, find out the latest updates on what's happening on my channel and what I'm cooking. Share it with your family and friends, and give me a big thumbs up. All right, so let's get to it. So I've got a number of spices here. What I would like you to do is go through the link at the bottom. It'll give you a description of all these different spices that I'm using, and it'll be far easier and far quicker. So now I'm going to mix all my dry spices, and the reason why I'm mixing the dry spices first is the last thing I want to do is make any kind of dish, and then as you're taking a bite through it, you get these big lumps of spices or herbs, and they just really don't taste nice. And then some will get too much of it, some won't get any at all. So I'm going to first mix up all the dry spices, just use my finger really, and then once that's done, very simple, I would recommend you, if you're doing it by hand, wear a glove, because some of these spices do have a stainable colour on them. So garlic goes in, and I've got some lemon juice and some olive oil. And I'm going to just make sure I use all that olive oil. Okay, so again, I'm just going to mix it in with my finger. Just make sure it's all mixed in nicely. And you really need to go around the edges and the bottom as well, just to make sure all those spices do get mixed in with the garlic and the lemon juice and the olive oil. Okay, so that's it really. Now, I've got some chicken legs and thighs. So this is boneless chicken legs and thighs. You can use chicken breast. The only reason why I don't use chicken breast is because it gets dry very quickly. This is off the leg and thigh. It has a little bit of fat on it, and we do need that little bit of fat just for it to basically stick together and give it that additional taste as well. So I've just left my chicken legs and thighs boneless. There may be a little bit of cartilage in there. Do remove that. I've already removed mine. You can see there's a little bit of fat on there, and I've left that on. So there's no real prep required. The only prep that we really need to do is make sure that this gets rest time. So anything up to 3 hours is great. Anything more would even be better. So I'm cooking mine today, so I'm just going to basically let it rest in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours, and then basically I'm going to cook it off, and then I'm going to eat it later on. And then I'm just going to literally mix it in. And that's all we want to do. We want to make sure that every piece of that chicken gets a good coating of that shawarma spiced up mixture. So I'm just going to, as I'm doing that, I'm just going to lay them on the side just to make sure I can get a good view of each one of those pieces of chicken, and they've got a good coat on it. Right, so I'm going to now pop this in the fridge for about 3 hours, and I'll see you back a bit later on, and I'll show you how to make this into something that you're going to remember for many evenings to come. I'll see you shortly. Bye. Hi everybody, welcome back, and it's time to make chicken shawarma. Right, so I've taken my chicken out of the fridge, given it about 10 minutes to rest, bring it back up to room temperature, and I've got the kettle boiling behind me. And I did say to you I'm going to show you a different way of making shawarma today. So I'm going to layer the chicken on top of this rack. I'm going to put an inch of boiling water, and then I'm going to pop this into the oven. And the oven's on around about 190 degrees. And then we'll give it about 20 minutes, and it should be done. And then we'll bring it back and start slicing it off. Okay? Give me a couple of minutes and I'll see you. I've got my oven ready, so I'm just going to layer the chicken now. So very, very simply, just open up the chicken if it's folded, and we're just going to place it on top of the rack. and it's very simple to do. It's part broiling, roasting. The chicken's going to be cooked in two different ways. It's going to be steamed, and it's going to be also be cooked at the same time with the heat of the oven. So the chicken will stay moist actually. Tried it before, does stay moist. Just need to make sure the chicken's flat. You don't have big chunks of chicken anywhere. Now I'm just going to, for 1 minute, bring the kettle over and pour an inch of water. Now do be very careful because you're going to have to transport this over to the oven. About an inch of water. Right, so what I'm going to do now is pop this into the oven, 20 minutes, and I'll bring it out and show you what it looks like. Welcome back everybody, and wow, they look beautiful. My shawarma looks absolutely spot on. Now, what I'm going to do now is take the shawarma from here, and I'm going to finely slice this. And I'm just going to place a lot of this shawarma just on my plate. Now you can dress your shawarma with whatever you feel you like. So you can put some lettuce, you could put some tomatoes, maybe even some toom. Check out my recipe for toom and my tomato chili sauce. It's super easy to make and packs a punch of flavor and really does dress every kebab. So I've just taken some of my chicken shawarma. Wow. Now I'm going to use some of my red tomato paste. I've got some toom as well. Toom is that nice garlicky paste that you get in the restaurants. Some lettuce, then a gherkin or two, and a whole load of shawarma. In fact, I'm going to take some more. And it's super, super moist. Wow. And all I've got to do now is wrap this up and bid you farewell whilst I enjoy this meal.